Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of WeEmpower. I'm thrilled to have you all with us today. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired. Let's make today count. In today's episode, we will have a great guest here to introduce. It's Stefan Frädrich. He is a physician, author, entrepreneur, top speaker, and coach. The experienced coach and renowned founder of numerous coaching companies such as Greator, Leaders Academy, and Reality Upgrade is actively involved in the state-of-the-art coaching trends into his work, and I'm really, really happy to welcome him in here. Afterwards, I have a great book to show you and to present you. It's a book I just brought back from China, and the name is Little Green Ideas, a Low Carbon Lifestyle Picture Book. And I'm happy to introduce it to you, and maybe it can be a life changer for you. Welcome here in the show, Stefan. Dr. Stefan Frädrich, physician, author, entrepreneur, top speaker, coach. Numerous coaching companies you found, including Greator, many people know. I'm super happy to have you here in the show today.
Hi, Annabelle. Nice being here. I'm looking forward to our talk.
First of all, you've chosen a great song. You've chosen Phantom of the Opera from Ghost. And what brought you there? Why is this a song you've chosen?
So you've asked me for a favorite song, and I have so many favorite songs that I up myself, which could be a good mixture of all the elements I love most. And this is a song originally from Iron Maiden, which is one of my favorite rock bands. I love this song, and this is a new interpretation. It's a cover version from Ghost, and I think they improved the songs. And I think this is all what life's about. You have something. Which really rocks, and then you have to improve it. And this is some kind of a mission for me in life to build something, to improve things, to go the
Yeah.
next step, and do it without hesitation.
And when I prepared for this talk show, I thought, okay, what is the reason why Stefan chose the song? And I thought that maybe it was the coach in Stefan who chose the song because I thought that you have might be in shadow training, so everybody has a shadow in himself. Maybe the Phantom of the Opera is in all of us, where we think we are the beauty, but in real we are the beast.
That's interpretation you could be yeah, I could use as well. Of course, we all have our shadows, our inner monsters, whatever. So there are many interpretations, but uh, so for me, it's the heavy metal. So this is the big part. Yeah.
I mean, I could go also with it, because I think heavy metal sounds, a heavy metal rhythm, sometimes it's really right, exactly that what we need in nowadays times, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I love many kinds of music, but this is some kind of I'm always going back to when I'm doing training, when I have to wake up in the morning, when I have to push myself. It gives me power, it gives me energy, and I love it.
Yeah, for me, I sometimes try to wake up my kid with Qigong in the morning, and if Qigong is not working, then it has to be heavy metal. This is definitely working.
Absolutely.
Puppy!
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at your life, I mean, it's really outstanding, I'd say, because you did it a kind of basic work first. You got really deep into the physical and psychological deep of people until you decided that you want to reach more people. You want to go into methods you created on your own. Was there a childhood moment which shaped your belief? On how important personal growth is, or the medical or physical direction?
Um, yeah, there was one little incident that shaped me a lot when I was in school. I was maybe 8 years young,
Mhm.
and I was kind of an outsider in school. I felt like that, and there was a guy who was bullying me, and he was bigger, larger, heavier than me, and he was beating me in school, and I
Oh,
started to cry. I started to cry, and then I there was something inside of me that said, "Okay, listen, you hit back." Until he cries, you will not be able to win this fight, but he will cry too. And this is something I did. So I started hitting back, and
yeah.
then I hit him once, and he woohoo, he started crying as well. And so there were two crying boys in school. And this is something was very important for me to learn. It is if you want to reach something, you have to fight sometimes for it. You have to defend yourself. You have to be strong. You have to overcome obstacles. And
Mhm.
when I read your question the first time, you said it to me yesterday, I was thinking that this moment could be one of the most important ones of my life because it changed an inner attitude to not being a victim.
I like it very much because I mean, looking back from myself, for myself, I was educated that I should do the things which are prepared for me, and I should do them in a perfect way. And of course, I had to be active, but not in that way as you described it. And there was one day where I learned that how important it is to act actively out of your intuition directly, and no matter what other people say about it, think about it, you decide. And I like that what you describe because I think many others would have said, "Oh, I run to my parents and or to the teacher, or I'm not strong enough." So the doubts come. That you hit back. This is really great. Would you say that this is a motive, a kind of motive through your life?
Yeah, it's not just hitting back; it's forming a life you wish because we all are programmed like that. We have to follow our parents, our teachers, our colleagues, our bosses, or whatever. And there are different types of people in who are authentic, who are living their true selves, and
Yeah.
they all do this kind of stuff. They first of all they know who they are. Secondly, they do what they should do. And this often, of course, interferes with the plans of others, but these are the people we orient to. These are the people we admire, we follow. These are the leaders. And many people have this leadership thing inside of them, but they don't dare to live it. And this is my work that I'm doing since 20 years, 20, 30 years like that.
And staying there, I mean, what would you think? I mean, many people know about it, and I know many which could be great entrepreneurs, could be great leadership people, but they will never be because they stick in this theory and they have so many doubts what could happen if. And do you think it is possible to reach them or
Yeah, yeah. I know it is possible to reach them. This is the core of my work since over 2 decades. I think there has to be a certain tipping point in your life when you do you have to overcome your comfort zone, do new experiences, say yes to new things, and really find out who you truly are. And from a certain point, there's no way back because then you know you will live your own life and not the lives of other people, not that what other people expect of you. And this is the moment then where your freedom starts. And I think we all should do that because we are all individuals which are capable of doing most amazing stuff in life. And people hold themselves back, which is a pity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes people which are thinking less about what could be and feeling themselves not just very intelligent or very skilled, they can be very successful because they think less and act more. Isn't it like that?
Yeah, it's absolutely, and we are trained in a different way because as soon as
Yeah.
we start school or going to university or wherever, we are always not allowed to do things because first somebody else has to approve it, and and sometimes maybe people know this phenomenon. You see people being successful in life, and you say, but
Mhm.
they are much less competent than I am. Why are they so successful? Yeah, because they are doing it, not just preparing for doing. And we prepare, we do our
Mhm.
training programs, we try to be perfect, and this is nonsense.
Absolutely.
So
And
I regard life as like a computer game. It's like an open world computer game, and you are your own avatar in this
yeah.
wonderful world. And instead of just pretending and preparing, you should interact with the world, and then you will have your experiences, you will have your successes, and of course failures as well. But everything is a learning experience, and then yeah, you just work with what's there. And I think this is a very natural approach to life.
I like this description of you very much, and to compare it with an online game. I think many people would act very easier with a daily life if they think it is a game, because if they think it's too serious, they are not willing to take any risk. But if they think it's a game, they are in a other playful manner and step into another role.
Absolutely. We always think of this what if, what if, what if, what if, but all these anxiousness, yeah, it doesn't bring you forward. And what you have to do is to accept that there will always have to be some decisions,
Yeah.
and you should do the big decisions, not the small decisions, and you should be your own avatar in your own game. And which is, by the way, it's fascinating. A friend of mine, he's developing a very cool AI, and I was into his AI world, and it was a training program, and I stepped out of this AI program with a VR, and it was like I stepped out of it, and I felt immediately that this life around me could be the same as inside the VR program, and I deepened this
Mhm.
thought of life being just a game, and yeah, it makes things much easier.
That's great. I think AI could help us very much with that to help us imagine things in a better way. And if storytelling doesn't help us, right?
And there's one more thing very interesting, because if you regard life as an AI game or as a VR game, as an open
Yeah.
world game, there's much less ego involved, because people feel offended by what happens in the world. They feel offended by their partner, their bosses, their
Mhm.
customers, their whatever, the politicians or whatever. And if you regard it as a game, it's nothing like, okay, it doesn't work this way, let's try that way. So there's much more. It's a much more proactive approach to life.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I wish that more people could adapt that and we could help more people doing that. You or I just mentioned that my family or my education influenced me a bit in my first path, and thanks God I stepped out of this. How did your family influence your path into medicine and yeah, also psychology at all?
It's a bit difficult. I don't think at all. My grandmother was very ill, very sick. She also died in the middle of her 50s,
Oh,
and so I
sorry.
was in hospital oftentimes when I was a small boy. So I saw all these white guys walking around, being very important, and I loved the thought of being a medical doctor, a physician. And then I had no doubt I had to study that. I always wanted to be a doctor, and so when I finally got it, then I quit my job and went on with the next part of my life.
We have 2 minutes until we have a small break. Give me 1 minute. As a doctor, what was the most emotional, challenging moment?
Many, many, many. I cannot say one of the most, but there was maybe a certain period of time when I was working in oncology. There were many dying people, dying young men at my age when I was around 28, 29. And that was a very, very challenging time, because I went into my job. I saw death everywhere. Came
Oh,
home. I was depressed, and that was very deep, and it shaped my belief about the world, that you should not prepare for life, that you should live your life to the fullest, because someday it'll be over.
mhm. I think this is a great lesson learned. For me, it turned into that I stopped studying medicine because my father gave me the duty that I should study medicine to heal his cancer, to figure out something which could heal his cancer. And I found this responsibility too much for me. And when I was 18, that I studied a while until figuring out that I might be too slow with finding something which heals cancer. So it is great that you stayed with these experiences, and it was not a stop, but you improved it to the better.
I
And
think I did, and I think what I'm doing now with my work, or which I did in the last over, yeah, 25 years, 30 years, was kind of the same. It was medicine, not not removing illness, but it was prevention. It was curing from inside. So I'm deeply convinced that I'm still kind of a physician, but not working in a hospital and not working with patients, but with just normal human beings.
Yeah, and I wish we have a bit more prevention even in our countries, in our world, than have this curative stuff where a lot of is already lost or has to be recovered, right? So we've covered some intriguing topics in the last minutes, and now we will continue our conversation with Stefan. Stefan, we talked about your first life in the medical sector, and you shared a few scenes from your experiences in oncology, and there were some scenes I had in my head where I thought, wow, this is really challenging. Sometimes I wished that a bit more people could have these experiences, knowing what it means, how life can be, and what it means if life ends much earlier than you think about. Um, my son asked me a few days ago, "Mommy, how many hours a human normally lives?" And I counted this onto a life expectation of 90 years. And he said, "Oh, that doesn't sound a lot." And I mean, talking with you about that, we lose 1 hour of this, don't we? I
Yeah,
said,
we do, but I think you should emphasize how many hours people live. And living is something different than just existing. And I think this is what we should focus on. We should do what we love most. We should do where our strengths lie. We should do where we can impact the most. How we can leave a legacy in life. And so it's a question of not just and the hours. I think it's much more a question of the direction in life you choose. And as soon as you start following your inner direction, live your inner essence, there's no hour lost because we could talk about anything. I would enjoy talking to you, and I don't worry about what I could do else because I love talking to you.
Yeah, and I mean, it is exactly what you say. So many people are doing just a boring job, are doing a job where they live every day and quite quitting. And they think about maybe I'm looking forward to eat my bread at home or to do some training or whatever they are waiting for. Or I'm looking for my retirement, that after 14 years of working and bad circumstances, they can enjoy life. What is this? I mean, it's exactly what you're describing. We should go into a life where every second is full of moments that we enjoy or that we think is full of a meaning.
Absolutely, but this is contrary to the programming we get because we just have to work in the proper way. Don't make any mistakes. Be in a safe space in the world. Try to avoid any complications. But this is not what life is about. Life is about like a game, and you should just play for the best. You should play to win, not to not lose.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm completely with you. Where does it come from that we are that way? And I mean, looking at cultures worldwide, we have, of course, differences. But here in the Western world, it looks like there are so many people which are always thinking about prevention. But if it comes to health, they don't behave like prevention.
Yeah, it's safety first. So there are different factors. First of all, we are used to having a safe job, safe environment, safe family, blah 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 blah. But then life is fading out of us. And the second part, we get stuck into our routines. We do the same things again and again and again. And because we just feel comfortable with our routine, what happens in life is that all this dopamine fades away. So dopamine is the learning substance. It's learning something new. It's about enthusiasm. If you see a kid, they grow up. They love learning. They love making experiences. But what happens? We shape our brains, and in the middle of our 30s, the capacity of our brains to learn new stuff just reduces dramatically. And so we just we are just in our stuck routine, and we think that life outside of this routine is not our life anymore. So we
Mm.
should force ourselves to do new experiences, totally different experiences, visit new places, get to know new people, adapt to different situations, and especially in a time like ours, where developments are just exploding, we have no chance of holding to our past. There will be no life anymore, which will be safe, no changes, nothing like that. But this is what we learned from childhood: be safe, be at home, do be small. But life is not about smallness; it's about being the best version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't know yourself and you have no idea about what could be the best version ever, you get maybe scared. And
If you get scared because people fear their competencies, they fear their strengths, because if they are faced with their strengths, it could mean that they should have to change something dramatically in their lives, and this is something we lose. This competency we lose. As childs, there's no problem. We can change things from one day to the next. But the more we grow up, the more we get used to our daily lives. And if somebody tells you, okay, look at your strengths, look at your dreams, look at your visions, make them come true, we think they are nuts, because who are you that you just can fulfill your dreams? But this is what we should do. And I'm deeply convinced that if every person knows their strengths, knows their emotions, knows what they are here for in this world, this is maybe a spiritual thought. So why are you playing this game called life? As soon as you start thinking about that, many things change. But that needs then you need to let other things go, which are you are used to. And we have this fear of loss. We have this fear of being alone. We have this fear of fighting, of developing, and this is very sad.
yeah, and I think we lose so much energy by fighting against others which are better than us, where we try to get them down or try to talk badly about them, um, or just invest in being jealous. It is it is interesting that we use so much energy against things. Or also, if I now look into the countries, where into the world where we see some people fighting against each other, countries fighting against each other, and you think, what idiots are you? Why are you fighting against each other than building a world worth living in?
Absolutely, absolutely. And also in Europe, maybe this is a very European phenomenon. What I think we have yeah developed is a very extensive way of administration. So our whole European world is an administration world. So we always stick to the rules. We ask ourselves first, where is this written down? Where's the law? Are we allowed to do this or to that? And I think as soon as we start experiencing that we can shape our own lives without many rules, without
Yeah.
following any rules, we start living this childlike dream again. We start this playful approach to life, and this is what life should be like, and this is what our work is about.
I like it very much that you t say playful, because I think playful means for some people childish. And I remember a quote of a friend writing in LinkedIn, kind of, I'm now 56, but I'm brave enough to jump into the water after it rained. And then I thought, what is brave? Why is this something which is brave? I mean, isn't it something nature? You like to jump in the mud. I mean, this is cool. And I wouldn't say this is brave. I
I
wouldn't say
think,
it's,
yeah, but people are not used to that anymore, because people are used to doing what other people tell them. So this is why I mean I've been doing this coaching and training business for over 2 decades, and in the last years I discovered the power of psychedelics,
Mhm.
which is LSD, magic mushrooms, ayahuasca, and etc., which are very very powerful substances to get you very close to your inner essence, to get you very close to your inner emotions, what substances that can help you gain inner clarity and be playful again. Because if you are on a psychedelic substance, or you have a psychedelic experience, all these routines, all these concepts about yourself, who you are not, they vanish. You just you go into a kind of an overview mode, and you get deeply connected to your emotions, and you get much more instinctive in life. You have much truer self. you
Yeah.
can live. And this is something what we do in psychedelic retreats since a few years. And what I see is that all these people who are stuck in their lives, they are successful. They might be successful in their business. They have families, they have whatever, but they feel stuck. They feel like in a hamster wheel. They
Mm,
don't know what they work for because everything is fine. They have a good job. Perspective, everything, and they also there's just administration in their lives, and they don't feel this sparkle anymore, this enthusiasm anymore.
yes.
And what you should do in this stage is just go back into yourself,
Mhm.
take out your inner child, and start living again.
And have you had a personal psychedelic experience that shifted your life or your experience?
Yes, I had one. I had a serious crisis a few years ago, and I was thinking about what, Stefan, what happens. I mean, all this coaching stuff. You've been working in psychiatry as a doctor. You've been doing all this training and coaching. Why can't you get out of it? And then I did a psychedelic session myself with a very competent coach. It was an MDMA and LSD session combined, which just blew me away. It was like 5 years of psychotherapy within just a few hours, and then I understood that just the logical approach to solving problems. Okay, analyze it, prioritize, blah blah. All this very 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 brainy way of solving problems is just one part. There's another part which is feeling things, which
Hmm.
is feeling through, which is remembering, which is much more. It's a body energy thing, which is very hard to describe. Um,
Hmm.
and if you've just had one single good experience with a good set and setting with good coaches, preparing you, being at your side, being with you lovingly, caring, and you go through your dark stuff, yeah,
Hmm.
it completely changes your life. It absolutely frees you from who you are not, and yeah, to being who you truly are.
We both know that there's a lot of controversy about that, and we both know that I mean there are people who suffered great from this, but there are also a few minor examples where it didn't go great or where something happened. Maybe there was somebody, an advisor, who was not experienced. Or how do you respond to skepticals who doubt of the power of psychedelic therapy, where, I mean, it's already used in psychotherapy normally.
Yeah, so criticals are always welcome, of course, and there are ways you should avoid doing it. And I would be very skeptical of doing it alone or doing it just in a party setting or just if you feel bad and you just take some drugs and fly away. It's like fleeing from a problem. It's not solving it. So therefore, I would absolutely assure everyone to do it in a good set and setting, which means a good inner preparation, which means a good surrounding supported by people who truly know what they are doing, and then to enter this deep trip. But you said in psychotherapy, the psychotherapy, the therapeutic use is just one side. On
Mhm.
the other hand, there are many also recreational and coaching parts of it. And you do not have to have a depression or PTSD or substance abuse problem to do psychedelics because if you are a sane person trying to develop yourself into the next stage, into the next level, you will have the possibility to find your truer higher self without being mentally ill. Yeah, it's just it's enhancement. It's like there's a more no neuroplasticity. There's more inner clarity. There's more connection to your emotions, and all this is very healthy stuff. And there's no reason why we should just limit it to therapy.
I'm absolutely with you. Um, do you believe psychedelics could be the tool for revolutionizing our mental health, or do you think it's just one tool among others, and we have to build it with nutrition and lifestyle and other medical treatments?
I think it's a combination of all of that because people are in different stages in their life. They have different questions and different obstacles to overcome. And at certain points, there should be psychedelics involved because they open up just perfectly new views, and give you yeah, just new pictures of your life and help you to connect more deeply. So I think it depends on what stages in life you are. I think it's especially important when you have to do big decisions, when you have to say, okay, should I quit that job? What is about my relationship? What about my health? I've been working in also many prevention ways in health stuff, and so I'm absolutely convinced that many bad behaviors we have in our lives, like overeating, alcohol, smoking addiction, and so on, are rooted in trauma, in some kind of a
Yeah.
trauma, or in some kind of deep shit that you should resolve. And if you resolve that proof, if you remove that the root cause,
Yeah.
many things fall into place. And what we focus on in our medical world is, okay, you should do a diet because people are obese, and then they do it with willpower and they fight against themselves. But
Mhm.
if you understand that your obesity or your emotional eating just tries to cover in a trauma or in a wound,
Yeah.
uh, just heal the wound, and you won't have to do all these workarounds anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm a fan of addressing the root cause of a problem, and then many things, many other things will just dissolve.
I'm completely with you. Um, if you had to summarize your life's mission in one sentence, what would it be?
Well, it's the okay. Just first of all, I think I don't do things in order to do something. I just try to be myself, and
Mhm.
the way I am working is just doing good stuff that helps people, that it interests me, doing playful things, making new experiences, and give it to people who like what I do. So that's very simple. I'm not something fancy. I'm just playing.
I would say that's fancy enough. And unfortunately, everything comes to an end. And unfortunately, our radio show now too, because I would love to talk with you hours or hours more. If you want to share maybe one, two, or three life hacks from you with the listeners here, what would it be?
I think the number one life hack right now would be try psychedelics. It's your the way inside of yourself, get to know you from a perspective, from a different perspective. You can do it in our coaching and retreats, reality-upgrade.com. We are doing them regularly, and so try to find out who you truly are. Live from inside out, not from outside in, and then everything should work out fine.
That sounds great. So thank you very much for the engaging discussion, Stefan, and for the inspiring insights. I'll look forward to our ongoing exchange and the impact we will continue to make together from different angles. And I wish you a wonderful trip now. I know that you have to travel now
Yes.
and have a good weather on Mallorca. And looking forward to seeing you very, very soon, hopefully. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, all the listeners. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you.